So we all know this one guy, right? And if I'm being honest, a lot of us don't like him. He's jacked as fuck. He drives a nice car. He keeps a beautiful woman with him. He has this magnetic personality, right? Everything seems to happen for him very easily in life. Yeah, I know that guy. It's me. But all jokes aside, that guy doesn't get there by mistake. He's not just like born with this. It's in what he does every day, right? We hear these things like, you are what you think you are. No, you are what you do. And in this video, I'm gonna break down what I do in detail, from my daily habits, my morning routine, the way that I eat, why I eat the way that I eat, why I eat what I eat. What are my disciplines, my daily disciplines that build me up to the point where I'm able to achieve all of my goals? I really want to give you the insight so that you can apply this stuff in the way that it fits so that you can achieve your goal. Because success leaves clues. I'm not 40 years old with a six-pack and a nice bank account because I don't know what I'm doing. So obviously I have a little bit to say about this topic, all right? So follow along. So if you're new to the channel, let me tell you why you should listen to me. In 2012, I was 360 pounds. I was obese. I had anxiety, depression, diabetes, high blood pressure. I was a fucking mess. And one day I woke up and I decided to stop thinking and acting like a pussy. I decided to stop accepting mediocre from myself. I want to take my mind and my life to an elite level. I stopped accepting excuses. And when I did all of that, I became a god. I was able to craft the body of my dreams. And now I want to teach you how to do the same thing. But you got to be ready. And if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you're ready, so let's go. So I normally wake up about 5:30 a.m. Now, I don't know if you can relate to this. When I wake up first thing in the morning, my mind is going crazy. It's like talk radio, all sorts of negative shit. Sometimes, most of the time it's negative. And the first thing I do is I kind of fight against the chatter in my mind. The weapon of choice is gratitude. Like, I just really direct my focus. I direct my thoughts in a direction that creates positive emotions in my body. I think about the fact that I have legs, right? It gets as simple as that. I wiggle my toes and that instantly sends this feeling of gratitude in my body. And it instantly calms down the negative chatter in my head. At about 5:45, I get up and I go to my Zen den. I sit down for meditation. So meditation has transformed into something that's really informal for me. I went through different phases of meditation. I've been meditating consistently for about 7 years now. But right now it's really informal. I sit down, I check in with my body, I focus on my breath, I close my eyes and I just observe how my mind is behaving. I continue to pay attention. Again, not judging it, not trying to do anything about it, just observe it. Because the mind is like the ocean, it's really temperamental. Some days it's all over the place, some days it's chill. So I just check in, like, all right, what's my mind doing today? I spend about 15 to 20 minutes doing this. I just breathe, I observe, and I just allow myself to be. And then I get up and I'll start my day. It's real simple. It's important to just have that daily check-in for myself, to just calibrate. So the next thing I do is I take my dog for a bike ride. Because if I don't ride this bitch, if I don't exercise this dog, she turns up on me. So this is about a 15, 20-minute bike ride. And while I'm doing that, I'm listening to some sort of financial audio, right? I listen to financial podcasts, some sort of audio book, something to kind of get my mind into money-making mode, putting my finances top of mind, right? This is super important. This is actually an intention that I've developed lately and has made a world of difference. I'm making so much more money because where focus goes, energy flows, right? And a lot of us, and I'm not going to get too deep into this conversation, a lot of us have negative relationships with the idea of money. We don't like talking about money. It's the secretive thing. But like, nah, educate yourself on finances. Look at your finances. Look at the painful parts of your finances so that you can improve them. But anyway, so I'm listening to financial education while I'm riding my bike and letting my dog run beside me. So at 7 a.m., I get back to my desk after my bike ride with the dog. I identify what my big, scary, hairy task is going to be today, like the thing that's going to require the most mental energy from me. I check my net worth, right? I check my apps. I look at my accounts. I look at what my money is doing. I check all my sales stats from my business, from all of my businesses. I check all my streams of income. That's another habit that I've developed lately that has absolutely changed the game. You have to look at your numbers. So after I check my numbers and I identify the task that's the most mentally draining, the biggest frog of the day, I write down on a sticky note how long I think this task is going to take. I write down the task and then I set my timer. This is such a pivotal part of my process because focus is something that you have to create intentionally. Now, for me, my brain likes pressure. It likes manufactured deadlines, if you will, because it keeps me locked in. And another thing that keeps me locked in is that I'm looking forward to being able to eat my protein bar at 10 o'clock. If I don't get this deep, focused task done, then I don't get my protein bar. This is something that I use to incentivize myself, right? You got to learn things about yourself that will inspire you to get the behaviors out of yourself that you want. So anytime I feel distracted, I just remember, okay, bro, you got to knock out this work in order to get your incentive, right? Which for me is that protein bar. So around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I have my first snack, which is my protein bar. And I usually pair that with a banana or some sort of fruit, right? Typically not bananas. I love bananas, but I try to lean more towards berries, right? Getting antioxidants. Obviously bananas are fruit. They're good for you. I'll never talk shit about fruit, but there's higher sugar in bananas and there's way more micronutrients. There's way more health benefits to eating berries. Blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, those sort of fruits are way better for you. And it really supports cognitive health. So I'm trying to stay mentally clear, mentally focused. Bananas typically spike my insulin, which honestly is just not good for cognitive functioning. So from about 11 to 2, this is when I do my coaching calls, my sales calls. This is when I'll connect with my team. I try to knock out the heavy mental load task earlier in the day because that's when I'm typically sharper. So midday, I'm doing things that doesn't require as much brain, right? Around 1 o'clock, I have my first cup of coffee. So I started my day with my mushroom tea. I try to use the coffee to get me through that afternoon hump. Right? You know that afternoon crash where you've been up for like 7 hours already, 5, 6, whatever, however many hours you've been up, you start to lose steam. And that's when I strategically put the coffee in there to kind of give me that boost. This is when I'm doing social media content around this time. And then maybe around 1 or 2 o'clock, I'll hit the gym. I knock out about a 45-minute to an hour workout, which leaves me energized. I come home, my post-workout meal is always something that has at least 60 grams of protein. Typically, I try to get 100 grams of protein in that first meal. I try to get 200 grams, 225 grams of protein a day, right? So this is usually an omelet with a protein shake, ground chicken, ground turkey with eggs, Greek yogurt with eggs and maybe sweet potatoes or maybe some protein pancakes, something like that. I have a group coaching program that I do Zoom calls twice a week. So around 4:30 after the gym, after this 100 grams of protein meal, I typically prepare for my calls, right? So it's either my group coaching calls or my one-on-one coaching calls. I always typically do those in the evening. So that usually takes me about an hour, hour and a half. And then I do my coaching calls from 7 till about 8. 8:30, I have my last meal, which is again another 60 to 100 grams of protein. Check out my Healthy Eating for Dummies guide. I pretty much outline exactly how I eat in that guide. And it's totally for free. It gives you my grocery list. It gives you everything. So take advantage and download that right now. So dinner time till about 9 o'clock, I try to spend some time with my son. And at 9 o'clock, I go upstairs and I try to read for at least an hour every single evening. Super duper important. I'm not gonna sit here and preach to you about why you should be reading, but bro, pick up a goddamn book. So this is normally 9:30 till about 10:30. And at 10:30 is when I review my day. And I do this every day. I'm really big on tracking everything. I track steps, I track calories, I track my weight, I track how many deep focus hours I achieved, I tracked how much money I made. So after I track my daily stats, I may write a few things down in my journal and then I'm going to sleep about 10:30, 10:45. And then I repeat this all over again. I want you to extract the little nuances from my routine and see how you can apply it to your own life, right? Everybody's life is different. Everybody's schedule is different. Everybody's goals are different. But if you want to be rich and you want to be jacked, then you got to have some structure. You got to have systems in your life. You can't be just willy-nilly in life. The shit don't work that way. What gets measured gets managed. You have to have data for everything in order for you to inspire yourself to make the right choices and to do the right behaviors every day that will ensure that you reach your goals. Okay, but before you sign off, I'm doing free coaching calls, but I'm not doing free coaching calls for just anybody. I'm looking for motherfuckers who has this fire burning in their belly for change. They're sick and tired of being the version that they are today, and they are ready to do whatever it takes to transform their body and to transform their life. If that's you, I want to give you a free coaching call. Click the link in the description and sign up. If you qualify, we will be on the phone within the next few days. All right? I'll speak to you soon.